Hey guys, this is Capt DNA Donut here, and this video has been a long time coming for the most part. I just want to go over a couple of things in Halo 5, since I still play the game somewhat regularly. Pretty much slowed down quite a bit, seeing as getting to rank 152 seems like it's going to be yeah, it's still going to take a long time. I'm only 150 and I think I'm something like 20 million XP, 25 million XP or something like that away. Because I think the last level was like 15 million, and right now I'm sitting at a little over 10 million to get through 150. So, well, maybe even more than that. But anyway, I just want to talk about some things that I kind of hope don't, well, yeah, I hope don't appear and do appear inside of Halo Infinite in terms of like multiplayer, firefight, and some campaign stuff. Along with other small, well, not really small issues, but other issues that I've had with Halo 5. But first I want to say I don't like wholesale hate Halo 5. I still enjoy playing firefight and multiplayer every once in a while. Well, multiplayer every once in a while, firefight's pretty much fun all the time. A couple of things I guess I want to get out of the way first is a couple of things that I did like the 343 did, especially when the game first came out, is supporting the game with like constant monthly updates. Which is pretty cool. You know, adding new maps, like new game modes, new weapons, new vehicles through the rec system, which was pretty cool. You know, like the Wasp, one of my favorite vehicles in Halo 5, and the different variations of that, new variations of the Warthog that we've never seen before. Same thing with like the Mantis and the Scorpion tank, you know, Wraith, so on and so on. Things like that are really, really cool. I like that because, I mean, you can do a lot with the Halo lore and adding, like, new variations of weapons and things like that, even though some of them were from the older games, but, like I said, the new variations of them, it's pretty awesome, and I hope that we see more stuff like that in Halo Infinite. I'm not really sure how it's going to work if they take some of this feedback, or if they do some of the things that I'd like them to do, that I'll discuss later, but you know, things like that, really cool. Love new maps, new game modes, new weapons, new vehicles, things like that. Always a lot of fun, especially in Halo. So I'm actually just gonna get into the multiplayer part of it, and one of the first things I want to talk about is team balancing. Every once in a while, me and my brother do like a commentary or a live stream. In one of our videos, we're playing like matchmaking. And for some reason, 343 seems to have really messed up the way matchmaking is balanced in Halo 5. Because before, and like it seemed like every other Halo game, if you were a pretty competent player, like say if you were playing Halo 3 and you were in ranked, or even in social, but definitely in ranked, you'd find other people around your rank. So like if you, like in my case, I'm a 45, I would find people like upwards to 50 or like somewhere down to like 42, 43 or something like that. If that system was in Halo 5, or the way it works, seems to work in Halo 5 is, it tries to find teammates, I guess it seems to try to find like a center point. So I'm like 45, we'll go back to the Halo 3 analogy. I'm in like 45, so if I was in ranked, it would try to find teammates, for me anyway, that were like 3 or 5 or 7. And that would be my team. And on another team, it might be somewhere around, let's say 32, you know, 27, 15, that one random guy. And then maybe like a 38. But it wouldn't be up to where I am. But it seems like in their balanced way of doing it, I'll get extremely trash teammates and they'll get decently competent teammates. That way it's like, oh, okay, yeah, it's balanced. I guess on paper it would be balanced, or by averaging the ranks it would be balanced, but what it leads to is matches that I could easily lose. I could easily lose matches to where I have well over 30 kills. Like, yeah, like 30 kills in a match, and my teammates are just going terribly negative. But it's not because the enemy team is that much better, because like I said, I managed to get like 30 plus kills and still lose. It's not that the other team's that much better. It's just that they're more competent than the people on my team by that little bit, or a lot of bit in that case, but by that little bit, and they can easily destroy any of my teammates. If I go up against them in a 1v1, then more than likely I'm going to win. But my teammates just don't seem to have a chance. I mean, most of the time, I've explained it to other people, and with my brother Overlord Actual, like I just feel like I'm playing with people without thumbs and eyes, and I don't know, who are just like in a coma in a medical bed, and someone just put on Halo 5 as background noise and said, go matchmaking. Like, it's pretty bad, and it's ridiculous. Like, you'll see it in, especially some of the big team battle matches, where, yeah, getting 30 kills in there and still losing, like, that really, really sucks. Especially seeing as I know it's not my fault, and there's not much I can do, unless I can somehow force my teammates to quit the match, and then I'd probably be able to win, which has happened a couple of times and come close to happening other times. When I was playing 4v4, I'll never forget, it was this one match on Foundry. I was up against these guys. They weren't even that good. Like I said, same situation. My teammates were absolutely trash. They ended up quitting out. And I could have won that match if I had like 3 more minutes to actually keep playing. The time just ran out, so I ended up losing by like 1 kill. But the fact that like, I'm pretty sure it was 27 or something like that, and my team only had like 5 kills. By the time my teammates ended up quitting, neither one of us made it to 50. I think the score is like 44, 45, something like that. Irrelevant. Anyway, I would have been able to win that match if I had more time, and just because my teammates weren't there, which is pretty insane. It's just like, if I could get rid of my teammates, or if they would just sit in a corner and not die, I could win the match, and it's a 1v3. Which shouldn't be happening inside of a matchmaking system, and like Halo 5 or any Halo game, in my opinion. It doesn't make any sense, and it really needs to go back to the old system of how you find people who are near your skill level on your team and then on the other team. That way it can be a good, fair match, as opposed to just because you're there, and I guess, well, yeah, your rank is much higher than pretty much anyone else is on the enemy team. So we'll put decent people, or slightly below decent people, competent people on enemy team, and then we'll just put absolute garbage teammates on your team. Like, I'll be playing, and I'm 150, and the enemy team will get something, more than likely everybody on their team's like 100 plus, or at least like 70 plus. And then I'll get teammates who are just like 5 and 15, 6, like their levels, and I'm just like, there's no way these guys are going to be any good. And it's not like they're Smurf accounts either, but there's no way they're going to be any good on my team. And yeah, it's just really frustrating. Their whole team balancing things and matchmaking for social and rank definitely needs some work, because it happens in rank too. And I know you can change your search preferences to balance or focus or whatever, but at this point, in terms of multiplayer, the population's definitely just not there for Halo 5 and a lot of the game modes to where you can find a match playing in focus. But yeah, moving away from that, we're going to go on to the next topic that'll probably take up a little bit of time, is Sprint. I personally don't think that Sprint needs to be inside of Halo whatsoever. Talked to my brother about this. He disagrees with me. It pretty much comes to, what all does putting Sprint in the game add to the game? Besides, like, making the maps bigger. Other than that, I mean, you could say, oh, it allows your Spartan to move around faster. And I'm just, my counter to that would be, so it's like, they could just increase the base movement speed. Like, if you play Halo 3 and you go on a social, and you move around, and then you go into the competitive settings, you notice that they up the movement speed just a little bit. And that little bit feels like where it should be by default. So, in my opinion, you should just get rid of Sprint and increase our base movement speed, and we'll be in a much better place. The main reason that I think we should just do that is that way it goes with what I was saying before about the maps being larger. That's the only thing it adds. There's a video out there, and I'll probably just add my own version of that inside this video. To where someone was playing on Truth / Heretic / I can't even remember what it is in Halo 2. I didn't play that online too much. But anyway, he's sprinting to go, I think, like P2 or Car 2, either way. And he's running from the base. So he has Halo 5 and Halo 2 up at the split screen. Or Halo 3. And they're both going to P2. And they get there at the exact same time for the most part for Halo 5 and Halo 3. One's with sprint and the other one's without sprint. The thing is, if you're playing Halo 3, you get there in the same time, and the whole time you're getting there, you can throw grenades and shoot at someone who might be shooting at you. And Halo 5, that ain't gonna happen. You can't return fire because your gun is forced down, which I guess makes sense. However, I don't think that should be the case. You should always, for the most part, there shouldn't be too many times where you aren't able to shoot your weapon, throw a grenade, jump, do whatever. In Halo, you should effectively comes down to your weapon should almost always be ready in Halo. I'll get to the circumstance where it shouldn't later, but with sprint it takes that ability away. You can't shoot and sprint inside of Halo 5, and I don't think it should be like that. It's just not necessary. I told my brother I played Doom 2016. Doom 2016 is an awesome game. Comes from the, I mean, it's a good mix of old and new for, you know, first-person shooters and things like that. And Doom doesn't have sprint. Doom doesn't need sprint. And Doom, you move fast enough without, you just don't need sprint. If you had sprint and it made it to where your weapon went down, you'd be dying a lot more in Doom. It's very important that you always have your weapon ready to shoot inside of Doom. It's probably also why there's no reloading. You never have to worry about reloading in Doom for the most part, except for I think the Super Shotgun, which is nice. After playing Doom 2016, yeah, it made me realize Halo really does not need sprint. It could get away with not having sprint and be just fine. I mean, Halo comes from, like, it just comes from the era back then. I mean, granted, it was early 2000s. Doom was older than that, but really didn't need, like, we didn't need sprint back then, and I really feel like Halo doesn't need sprint now. It just needs a faster base movement speed, and it's just, it affects the maps negatively. It just makes the maps a lot larger than they have to be, because it has to accommodate sprint. I mean, if you could sprint in Halo 3, you could get across the map pretty quick, but without it, you just don't need, you don't need sprint. Like, adding sprint just makes the maps larger because you have sprint in there, and that's about it. It doesn't add anything to the game, in my opinion. Anything substantial, anyway. But yeah, main reason I don't like it. Can't shoot at all times. Can't throw grenades at all times. You can't, like, respawn to something that's going on whenever, like, whenever you're sprinting. And it's just like you see something, you have to stop. It takes like half a second or whatever for your gun to come up. That way you can start returning fire, but usually the other person can get like 1 or 2 shots into you, and at that point, you're probably going to lose that fight if you were sprinting. But yeah, we're going to move on to clamber. I like clambering. It's nice. Doom 2016, which, like, I'm going to be comparing to again, also has clambering. I think it just kind of makes sense. It's a little annoying sometimes, like I guess I don't know. People are going to use the excuse, it's like, well, Spartan should be able to sprint. I just feel like we should be able to clamber. Like, that's just one thing that I feel like we should be able to do in a modern game. Battlefield, you used to not be able to, like, climb up over walls. You would have to be at a certain height to jump over a wall. And in newer Battlefield, you can climb over a wall. It makes sense. And it's just like, well, you say you can also sprint in there. So it's like, yes, you can. But, like I said, it's not necessary here. But I like clamber. However, the problem with it in Halo 5 that 343 made is the way they designed the maps. It kind of goes into the sprint thing. It's just like they designed the maps to have it to where you need to use clamber at certain points, which I don't think you should be forced to use clamber. It should be more of a thing in case you slightly miss a jump. or it's just like the awkward moments in like Halo 3 to where it's just like you go for a jump and then it's just like, well, you hit your ankle on the ledge that you were trying to get to, so you're not able to get up there. I think Clamber needs to stay, and the thing is, it should only really be used as like a last resort in a sense, because I feel like they shouldn't design the maps to where you should be forced to use Clamber. Any jump that you should be able to make, or like there should be jumps to where it's just like if they were gonna make it to where you're forced to use Clamber, I feel like you should be able to make that jump instead by using crouch jumping, which is, it's more of a skill and something that isn't always forced. Shouldn't always be necessary, but like crouch jumping I feel like is probably a better way to go about it for some of these jumps. But yeah, like some points when you're moving around the map and you're forced to use Clamber to get to places, and it's so unnecessary. It just needs to be a last resort. I like it in the game, I just don't think you need to be forced to use it. But yeah, Halo Infinite, I would really like it if they keep Clamber, because I think that's nice. Thruster, I like Thruster. It's just like I don't know. They kind of had like the whole Spartan abilities is trying to be like the fourth leg inside of like Halo Reach and Halo 4 and Halo 5. I feel like Thrust should be it, and that should just be it. Everyone can use Thrust. Because I feel like there's a skill to like when you want to use Thrust, because like if you use it at the beginning of a firefight, well a battle 1v1 or whatever, there's a chance you're probably gonna lose unless you're really hitting your shots. Like the timing of when you want to use Thrust I think is really important. And it's a nice thing to have the the vague grenades, or just kind of just need that quick burst of movement. It's just like you see a sniper across the map and they're about to dial you, and it's just like, ah, crap, and you can thrust back, which I think is nice. I mean, it's not really a get out of jail free card at all times, because it's kind of a muted thrust. You don't go very far. It's not like you're thrusting halfway across the map or anything like that, but I think it's a really nice thing to have. It kind of just fits into the game. Moving on to other Spartan abilities that seem pretty cool at first and inside the trailers, and then turned into very, very frustrating and cancerous things, and that's Spartan Charge and Ground Pound. So Spartan Charge and Ground Pound definitely do not need to return in Halo Infinite. I don't think there's really much argument for keeping those inside of Halo Infinite. They're really frustrating. Especially Ground Pound. Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. Getting Spartan Charge and knocked so far away to where, and knocked around, your screen shake, you can't really respond. It's just really annoying. Like, some guy just, like, Spartan charges around the corner, hits you, headshot you with the Magnum. There's not much you can really do about that. Especially with the tracking, because the tracking on it is, for me, in my opinion, it's great for anyone attacking me, and it's awful for whenever the rare chance that I do use it. Yeah, the tracking just has issues. Sometimes you'll go straight past the person, even though they're like right next to you, and other times you can Spartan Charge and it will track a person around the corner for you, and you'll still hit them, and that shouldn't happen. I'm pretty sure 343 fixed the around the corner tracking, but overall tracking for Spartan Charge is not great. Plus, it's just really cheap feeling. I mean, they got rid of it in the HCS or the ranked playlist, to where you can't do it anymore. Same thing with Ground Pound, and that's for the best. It's just really frustrating to get Ground Pound hit, just one hit, easy, and it's something that's unlimited use. I'm just glad that they're probably going to be going away. That's for the best. Another thing I want to talk about is like, and this is general multiplayer, which this is something I really like. It's just 343 rotates like game modes, like every couple of weeks or every week. Community made game modes, like just like Action Sack or Husky Raid, Rock and Rail. Mythic Shoddy Snipers, things like that. Those being on rotation is really cool. I like that a lot. Because I like it on rotation as opposed to having like 47 different playlists for all these different game modes, or them all being bundled inside of like Action Sack. I'm happy about that. It's nice that they're on rotation. They usually, well, every once in a while, they come with double XP, and it's just a good way to keep things fresh. You know, every once in a while I'll jump in and play that because it's just nice. Like playing in the anniversary throwback or the Halo 3 throwback playlist is always a lot of fun. Or the H2 BR Slayer, which I don't know why that's just not like H2 BR starts and CTF and like Assault and things like that. Oddball, I don't know why that's not a thing, but still. Modes rotation, I really like that a lot. It's good. That's something that I hope they keep. Next thing is the ranking system. Like I like parts of the Halo 5 ranking system. I hope they do this and then like a combination of the Halo 3/Halo 2 ranking system, to where you go and get ranked inside of like certain things, you know, 1 to 50. I don't know, just Halo 3 really, I guess, solidified the whole 1 to 50 ranking system, because like they tried different ways a lot, and I just like the 1 to 50. It's just nice. But in combination with that, the one thing I like that they did in Halo 5 is the seasons, which is pretty cool. So like I don't know how often it is because I haven't gotten ranked in anything in a while, but every once in a while it'd be cool if it was like, make it like every like 2 months or 3 months or something like that. Your rank gets reset, you go back in the ranking in the ranked, and you go get re-ranked. You get some rewards, usually it was just an emblem or something like that. I think that's cool. I like that. Seasons, I'm all for that. But I do feel like we should just probably go back to a Halo 3 style ranking system. But like also in combination with the general XP, like later Halo 3, to where like if you went in the social, or you just had an overall rank also based on just like winning matches and XP and things like that. I think that's good. So like the whole, as they have it in Halo 5, like rank 1 152, like that whole overall ranking system type of thing should stay, but the way that they have it in ranked arena should probably just switch back to the old Halo 3 style system. I like that a lot more. Let's talk about Warzone next. I'm not sure what they're gonna do with Warzone if they if they get rid of the rec system and the way it works now anyway. I like Warzone. I kind of feel like maybe it should just be a shorter, like a slightly shorter mode, like Halo 4 Dominion, and keep like the whole AI things in there, because I like it a lot. I'll get to it later, but I don't really care for the rec system too much anymore. But I love Warzone as a game mode. I think it's just like the whole big team battle part of it. We just larger game modes on Halo is something that, you know, should have been around for a while. I know there are probably like technical limitations in terms of the older systems and even Xbox One, but I like the big game modes like that, multiple vehicles, lots more vehicles. The larger maps in Warzone are actually okay. Mainly the accommodate all the vehicles and things like that, and then like the different play spaces. But I do feel like if they do bring Warzone back, maybe find a different way to implement like weapons and things like that. Like I think maybe a combination of Dominion and Warzone, the way it works now. That way you capture the base, and when you're holding the base, you know, you'll get weapon and vehicle drops for the length of time that you hold it. I think something like that would probably work out more than the way Warzone is now. Some of the maps, I think, is also somewhat of an issue. Like, I like a lot of the maps, don't get me wrong. I love Escape from Ark. March on Stormbreak is a lot of fun. I like that one a lot. I want to like Sanctum, but it's just way too choke pointy in a center, and once the enemy team gets to Temple, it's kind of a wash. I mean, it's kind of hard to break that. Battle of Noctis I like to an extent, but I feel like the issue that some of the Warzone maps, I hate Apex now. Some of the Warzone maps have is just there's too big, but it's just because like they feel really empty. I think it's the issue. Like Battle of Noctis is a pretty cool map, but it feels way too empty. Like I kind of feel like if it was a mix of that and more like ODST New Mombasa style, like urban warfare, it would have been a little better. Like granted, it would have made it a little harder for like vehicles like the Scorpion Tank and Wraith to move around, but I really feel like it would have been a better map if it had some aspects of that. Just like more locations, because I feel like it's pretty much a giant flat plane with some bases tossed onto it at times. But yeah, something like that for Warzone in the future / Dominion. I would love for that to stay. Moving on to the rec system as a whole, and it's going to tie into like the whole microtransactions. I am really tired, and I'm glad it's starting to go away. I'm really tired of games having like unlocks through just like some random card or loot box bullcrap unlock system. It's really annoying, and with Halo 5, I wish I had known this sooner. The way it's random to an extent. It seemed like the way it worked is with the bronze, silver, and gold packs, there was like a hidden progression throughout the whole system. So if you didn't know, effectively what happened is even if you were low level, even if you opened gold packs, you weren't likely to get any kind of legendary rec certification out of that. I'm pretty sure the way it worked is everything was like progression based, to where you needed to open up a bunch of bronze packs until it started to give you rec points back, or you just didn't get any rec certifications. And then you needed to move on to opening silver packs until you stopped getting rec certifications, and it would just give you back rec energy. And then you would move on to the gold rec packs. And there would be, you know, different rarities of requisitions inside of that. I'm pretty sure that's the way it worked, and that's kind of annoying because, you know, you start out and you want to get the gold rec packs, that way you can get some legendary recs, and you don't, because that's just not the way the system works, really. It was the same way with weapon unlocks for like the different variations of assault rifles or like the loadout weapons and things like that. Like I was saying, open up those bronze rec packs and the silvers and the gold. I don't think there was a good chance, if any chance, that you were actually going to get any kind of legendary thing from the gold rec pack until you clear it out, bronze and silver. But yeah, I like the rec system to go away. The only sad part about that is I don't really know, like I haven't thought of an idea or a way to where we'd be able to keep all the different recs, like the weapon variations anyway, like the answer or something like that. I feel like they might just be relegated to a permanent super, like a Fiesta playlist, to where those random weapons would show up maybe. But yeah, the whole rec system thing is it's really annoying. It was kind of like the Star Wars Battlefront 2 thing, except nowhere near as bad in terms of it being like tied to progression somewhat. It just needs to go away. I'm not sure like how they would sort it out, but it needs to go away. It was nice at the beginning though, because any money that was spent on it was going into the HCS tournament fund for the pool prizes, for the money for the tournaments going on. That was nice. I feel like the way that they could still do that is if you buy, like, say, skins for, like, weapon skins, or it'd be, like, weapon packs for, like, I don't know. I mean, price-wise, they're not going to do it, but it'd be really nice if they were just, like, $1 to where you could get weapon skins for, like, all your loadout weapons for, like, a certain team that you want to support. Like, if they could get, say, some contracts going for, like, the next 2 years tournament-wise, these teams will be in Halo. And you can get their weapon skins. It's kind of like they have it now, to where that money was supposed to go towards those organizations, a portion of it anyway. Do stuff like that, and then also have a portion of it just go back into the pool price for the games, for the tournaments. That'd be really cool. But just make them not super expensive. Like I don't know how much they were before. It was either like $5 or $10, but I feel like if it was like $1 or $2, to be a lot better. But yeah, stuff like that, I don't mind. Like, you know, you just pay it, and I mean, you know what you're getting. Like that's cool. However, yeah, I just feel like none of that. The whole random aspect of it, it's just really, really annoying. Same thing with the armors. Like, if you want to keep the rec points, or whatever currency you want to call it like it is in, like, just call it credits like it is in Halo Reach. If you want to keep that, do it like you did in Halo Reach. This is a certain armor I want to get, make it a certain amount of credits. Let me go buy that specific armor. Let me buy that weapon skin that I want to get. I don't like going through this stupid random slot machine bullcrap thing to do it, and it's just like, oh, hopefully I'll get this one skin out of like 47 skins, but also at the same time, it's in contest with like, I don't even know how many different armors at this point. It's like over 200 different armors and helmets, and it's just like, the chances of you getting the skin that you want, pretty slim. Either make it credits, or make it to where it's something tied to progression. So you get rank 10. Or it's just like, go get, I don't know, rank 25 in the Team Slayer ranked playlist or something like that. Beat the campaign on Legendary. Make it tied to something that you do. I guess if it's something really special, or just make it for credits to where you know what you're buying and you just go buy that thing. Because, yeah, this whole random thing popping up in so many games that I do like Halo 5 and Forza Horizon 4 and Gears of War 4, it's so irritating. It makes me not want to play the game because I have no clue how much time I need to put in to get what I want. So, yeah, the whole random nature of unlocking certain things, really annoying, needs to go away. I'm not sure what they're going to do about the wrecks or the vehicles and the weapons. That I'm not sure about. I'd love to have them stay in the game because there are a lot of cool wrecks, like I said, in Halo 5. I like those a lot. The weapons and vehicle variations are really cool. It's awesome to see what they came up with. One thing that they added before, later, way too late in the game, was land support. 343, there's like, there's just things that are in Halo that they need to understand stay in Halo. Like, after playing Gears of War 5, it seems like the Coalition understands, like, their community as much as I can say, because I'm not as big in the Gears as I am in the Halo, but they have land support. They understand that it's vital for the competitive scene to have land support. They have split screen in their campaign, which they understand is hugely important to the Gears community. And 343 was just like, we're getting rid of split screen for Halo 5's campaign. We're getting rid of split screen for multiplayer. We're getting rid of LAN support for multiplayer also. So, you know, if you don't have internet connection, you only get to play our campaign, which hopefully you didn't spend $60 on exclusively that for. Yeah, stuff like that. LAN support, it has to be in the next game. They added it to Halo 5. It was way too late. It's not as easy as it was in the previous games to set up. It really should just be as simple as changing your network to system link, and then you just host a match and people can find you on the same network. It's I don't know why or whose decision it was to get rid of that, but that and split screen, yeah, those were some of the worst decisions they made in terms of getting rid of in Halo 5. That was just really bad idea. Hopefully being Halo Infinite, it needs to stay. That's just something that needs to stay in Halo and should always be in Halo. Next thing is custom games browser. That is awesome. I really wish we had like a custom games browser inside of like Halo 3 back in the day. That way make it a lot easier to find like infection matches with like specific settings anyway and things like that. I'm happy that's in Halo. I hope that stays in Halo. Infinite comes back anyway. It's a really good thing to have. It's just something I feel like a lot of games nowadays really need. It's important, I think, especially if you're going to be on PC. A lot of people on PC are used to like some kind of game browser or server browser, and it's just nice to have, in my opinion. The starting weapon, I don't know. I'm just going to talk about weapon balance in general in Halo 5. So during the beta, BR, pretty powerful at its range. DMR, very powerful at its range. Magnum wasn't I don't remember that being terribly overpowered. SMG extremely powerful in the beta. If you didn't play it at close range, that thing would shred you to pieces easy. Which it should have. It's a close range weapon. A little too powerful though. Then the game releases. Balance-wise, I think most things are fine. BR is still really powerful. Magnum's a sidearm. They shouldn't have made AR starts as a thing inside of ranked playlist, in my opinion. Should have just been BR starts. It's another one of those long-standing things where I don't know why 343 is just like, yeah, we'll just make it AR starts and yeah, have fun with that. Like, I don't know. We had BR starts since like Halo 2. I don't know how that was an issue, honestly. And it's just like, make it BR starts. Just make it BR starts. But yeah, most of the weapons in Halo 5 I think are fine. Were fine. They were fine. Let me say were. Okay. At release, the BR I think was a tad too powerful. I think it just kind of worked it like long distance more so than it should have. It's supposed to be like a medium and a long range weapon, but if it was like a weapon, like I think going up against the DMR, the DMR should kind of have the upper hand in that fight in most cases. But yeah, I don't know. Balance-wise, beginning of the Halo 5 until they did the balance pass, weapon-wise, I thought it was pretty okay. The SMG was in a better spot than it was in the beta. The AR was in a decent spot. Magnum was in, you know, the whole side army spot where it should be, for the most part anyway. Sniper rifle. I have a nitpick about the sniper rifle, and I guess like the whole aiming system in general in Halo 5. You know, I'm going off on a tangent here, but bear with me. The whole magnetism thing and the auto aim in Halo needs to be dialed back so far. In Halo 4, it was worse than it was worse in Halo 4, I think, than 5. Actually, you know what? No, it probably wasn't. Maybe what the sniper rifle was. Anyway, magnetism, bullet magnetism, and the auto aim in Halo has gotten outrageously out of control. It's way too heavy now. It's kind of bad. There's a video out there showing like the range at which you might get bullet magnetism, and it's just way too big. I remember watching Snipe Down stream one time to where just because he had the red reticle range, it was like guaranteed that the Magnum shots were gonna hit a guy. The reticle was above the dude's head, and it wasn't even on the Spartan's body, but because it was red, he shot 5 times and it killed the guy. His crosshair wasn't even on the Spartan, and it killed him. And that's a problem. Like the magnetism in this game, it's too high, and it needs to be dialed back pretty significantly. The auto aim rotation's also way too high. In my opinion, it needs to be dialed back. The sniper rifle, I don't know, it doesn't seem as bad for the beam rifle. With the sniper rifle, I think has too much magnetism. Too much auto aim makes it to where you're hitting shots that you shouldn't. I'll never forget, there was it was during a tournament. Someone shot a sniper rifle. They were on Eden, and you could see the bullet hit the wall, like impact the wall 100%, and it still killed the guy from behind the wall. And I'm just like, well, we haven't had bullet penetration as far as I know since Halo Reach, and that was only with like select weapons like the sniper rifle and certain maps. So that shouldn't be happening. Stuff like that, it just needs to go away. So yeah, but I guess back to the weapon balance thing. After the balance pass, a lot of weapons just got neutered, like horribly. The SMG, absolutely useless in like most cases. Assault rifle, you're gonna want to beat down. Like before, you didn't really need to. Like if you were in close range and that person had BR and you had an assault rifle, there's a good chance you could actually just out assault rifle them. Granted, your shields are probably gonna be down, but you could still win that fight, which seems fair seeing this is close range. That's where the assault rifle's kind of supposed to work out pretty well. Same with the SMG. But yeah, after that balance patch, that didn't happen. They added like a headshot multiplier to where if you weren't headshotting the guy with the assault rifle, you were probably not going to kill him. Same thing with SMG. Well, especially with the SMG. That was bad. The battle rifle got destroyed. It's almost completely useless. The reticle range on it's like shorter than the Magnum, if I'm not mistaken, or at least it definitely feels like it. There seems to be random bullet deviation, or like all the shots don't go to the same spot. There's like needless recoil on it, for whatever reason. It's just so bad. The DMR still seems okay though. I don't know how much they touched that, but I mean the DMR always seemed like it was a pretty balanced weapon for long range. But holy crap, they destroyed the BR. They made it to where the Magnum's pretty much the only weapon that's viable. Even if the BR is in the map, no point in picking it up. Playing big team battle. You go, I don't even think there are Magnums on the map, but you go find a Magnum, you'll just pretty much destroy anybody with a BR because the red reticle range is just so short. On top of the BR, I hate the sight, the little claw sight's really annoying. I also hate the classic BR scope. I don't know how they just didn't add like the actual scope from like Halo 3 into the game. What they really should have done is when they added the H2A BR, that should have just been a starting weapon in rank, and then you just have the Magnum in the back seat. Like the Halo 2 battle rifle, that one still works fine. It should have just been the starting weapon in the first place. But yeah, good lord, some of the weapon balance changes were nowhere near good. They were definitely pretty bad. Yeah, it's just sad what they did to the BR, because it was a good weapon before that, and it's not even a gun you really want to pick up unless you have to. I feel like it's always a 4-shot now. Yeah, I don't know. It's bad. That's for sure. It's just a bad gun now, in my opinion. Anyway, so, like, in my opinion, this is just not a good gun anymore. Carbine's still okay, but yeah, they need to work on that. Also in terms of like balancing, 343, like they waited, I think it was over 2 years, if I'm not mistaken, around 2 years or more, at least a year and a half. It was a while. They waited a while before they did a weapon tuning update, which like I can understand letting the game be out there for like a few months to see if anything's like horribly unbalanced that needs to be fixed. But man, they waited so long before a weapon tuning update, and then once it drops, it's not that great, and then they just left it like that. And that's yeah, that's a problem that I hope we don't see in Halo Infinite. I heard the explanation for some of the things not getting changed is like engine related. Like it's just apparently, according to 343, it's pretty hard to change things in Halo 5's engine, or like change things in Halo 5 because of the engine. Hopefully that won't be an issue with the slip space engine, but holy crap, that stuff was pretty bad. Yeah, I guess the other thing, Smart Link, I kind of skipped over that when I talked about all the other new things that they added. I don't really think it's necessary, and 343 also lied about it because they were just like, it's just a zoom effectively. Like people were just used to being, you know, like in, I guess the COD people that they were still trying to appeal to somewhat, it seems. It's just like they're used to holding the left trigger and then zooming in or like aiming down sight in a sense or whatever. And but it's not even like, you shouldn't even worry about it because you know, it doesn't even improve accuracy. And then the game releases and you know, someone shoots their assault rifle and yeah, they do it with and without Spartan Link enabled, and with it enabled it's more accurate, without it it's less accurate, and you know, just lying to us, which is, you know, awesome. Loads of fun. Yeah, I feel like it shouldn't be there for every single gun. Like I don't think it's necessary for every single gun to have that, like the assault rifle. I mean, if the SMG stays with the little sight, then yeah, sure, why not? But it's not necessary, I don't think. But at the same time, if it stays, I don't think I'll care that much because a lot of guns already have some kind of zoom feature. If you actually think about it, it's just mainly a lot of the automatics that don't, which, I mean, in general, you're going to be using those at close range anyway, so it doesn't really, I don't know, I don't think it needs to be in the game for a lot of guns. Not really, anyway. But yeah, I figured I'd talk about that real quick. Yeah. Anyway, let's move on to Firefight. I like Firefight. I like the way they have it set up now, to where you get to go do the different objectives and you progress through it. Like, maybe this is where the rec system should be relegated, just like strictly Firefight or something like that. That way you can keep all the cool weapons and vehicles, because like I said, I like those a lot. The way they have Firefight now, I like it a lot. There's a crap ton of enemies usually. I like going to do the different objectives, you know, killing the bosses. Kind of wish some of them had like more unique things, like things that you didn't see in campaign or stuff like that. They did that somewhat, like the mythic level warden, you know, shoots 2 face beams instead of 1, and stupid hard to kill, you know. Some things like that is pretty cool. But yeah, I like Firefight. I have a lot of videos on Firefight, obviously. But I think they should also add maybe like a classic Firefight, to where it's just like the general wave-based thing. And like if they're worried about like the maps just being like too big, maybe just relegate it to where it was on like Warzone assault style maps. Like Firefight on Dispatch, you know, will work out pretty well. It's a pretty decent sized map. You could have the Covenant drop in certain areas, and you know, just, you know, I mean, it's classic Firefight. You guys know. Plenty of room to run around in vehicles, Banshees, Scorpion tanks, stuff like that. I think something like that would be cool. You can even have like the weapons drop from the sky again, or have them just located in certain areas of the map. So maybe like this, like on Dispatch, if you go up into the armory at the sniper's perch, there's a sniper there, but maybe you could just choose like if you have to wreck, it'll always at least be a default sniper, but if you have a wreck card for like the end of the line or something like that, if you want to, you could choose that as the sniper rifle that spawns there for like yourself if you get there first. Same thing with like rockets or something like a shotgun or something like that. So, things like that I think would probably be cool, and it's a good way to keep the wrecks in there, even if it is Firefight Classic. But obviously if it's the way they have it implemented now and you still at the rec station, you go get the wrecks that you want. I think that would be cool, because sometimes I do just kind of, I mean, I would just like to have the regular wave-based Firefight. I mean, I go back and play Halo Reach for that every once in a while. Obviously, I don't upload too many videos on it, but still, that's nice. That would be nice anyway. Firefight I like as a whole. It's pretty cool. I think they should kind of have the balls to do like what the Coalition has done with Horde mode, to where like you go matchmaking in Horde mode, and this is Horde mode. It goes 1 to 50. Granted, you can leave, but it goes 1 to 50. Like, I kind of feel like there should be maybe not an endless mode, but like go up into like the bonus wave, or like maybe 3 bonus waves or something like that. I think it sets 5 waves in a round, 3 rounds in a set. I'm pretty sure is what they said in the ODST Firefight trailer. Something like that would be cool. You know, for like a longer match, as opposed to just upping the difficulty, because I'm going to be honest with you guys, and I'm pretty sure I said it in comments before, going to play Legendary Firefight really isn't fun, and not for me anyway. Going to play Mythic Firefight certainly isn't fun, probably mainly because of the skulls. I don't hate the skulls, I just kind of wish they weren't there for Firefight matchmaking, or at least give us the option to, you know, have it on or off or something like that. Yeah, because that's kind of annoying. But yeah, on wholesale, I like Firefight. It's fun. Maybe up the player count, or I don't know. 8 seems okay. 8 seems okay. It's a lot of people. It would be cool though if you could like feature Firefight. Like, granted, for some reason the friendly AI inside of Halo games, I think since like Halo Reach, have taken a nosedive. I think I came back up with Halo 4. It was pretty okay in Halo 4. And Halo Reach, it wasn't too great. Halo 5, it certainly isn't great. Playing through the campaign, I was really excited about certain aspects of that, but I'll talk about that later. But yeah, make it to where like you can maybe call in like ODST support, and then they can come around and ride on your hog or something like that, or will follow you around during the Firefight match. things like that would be kind of that would be a lot of fun. I also think just like the little things, like as opposed to like you calling a wreck. Let's say you're calling a warthog or a scorpion tank. As opposed to just coming out the base, which I know is a lot easier to do. I'd imagine maybe have like a pelican come and drop it off at like a landing pad somewhere. That would be cool. Like same thing with like say if you want if they bring hornets back, which would be okay with me. Or like a wasp. Have someone just like maybe fly it in and then they just go away like a pelican. It might just be easier for you to spawn up in that. That I'd be okay with. But like this cool things like that would be nice. So you call in an ODST squad and they actually just drop out of their like they drop in their pods. You know, they come out. I mean, they're ODST. We know what they do. They drop in, which would be cool. If you call in Marines, like a pelican comes to the landing pad, drops off some Marines with like assault rifles and BRs and stuff like that. Small things like that, adding the firefight, I think would go a long way. Also, probably having like more specific maps for it. Like if we could play firefight in like expanded, like new Membas ODST locations, that would be cool. Or just like play spaces like that, I think would be a lot of fun. But yeah, firefight for the most part, I was really excited to see that come back. I think after the firefight beta, with Heroic Warzone Firefight, 343 balanced it pretty well. And yeah, hopefully that stays, and it'd be cool to see some new things like I mentioned for Firefight. Next section I'm going to move on to is, unfortunately it's going to be pretty negative. It's like bugs, glitches, and just miscellaneous stuff. Halo 5 needs Operation Help Me Out, fix these bugs that have been here for literally years. Because like it's pretty bad. Like me and my brother would play Firefight, and I feel like at this point we can't go more than sometimes it's one match, but usually like 2 or 3 matches without like the game just freezing. Like it just freezes after the match. We try to back out of the Carnage report, thing will just freeze. Game will freeze. Music might still be playing. It might like sputter a little bit, but yeah, the game just freezes. And then we have to quit and load back in. I don't know how this is still an issue many years later. We've tried, like, there's been times to where I've pretty much cleared out my entire wreck inventory thinking maybe that should fix it. Doesn't fix it. I don't know what 343 needs to do, but that stuff is just, it's really, really annoying. It makes it to where it's just like, well, why? Like, it's impossible to keep playing multiple matches quickly, which really hurts when I'm trying to level up, and it's just like every other match, I need to quit the game and reload it. Yeah, they need to, it'd be really nice if they could do some Operation Health, like, I don't know, sometime this year, but like, well before, Halo Infinite comes out, because, good lord, it could use it. It could definitely use it. Hey guys, I'm out in this one after the fact. I forgot to mention how god-awful theater mode is in Halo 5. It's never been fixed. I don't know how they messed it up, seeing as it worked perfectly fine in Halo 3 the first time it was implemented in a Halo game. But yeah, it's pretty awful for some reason. You know, as it starts out, it doesn't start on you. I don't know why. Every once in a while, when you die, it doesn't stay on you. It will just switch to another random person for whatever given reason, which doesn't make any sense. Which, like I said before, wasn't an issue in any other Halo game. Control-wise, it seems okay as far as I know. I try my best not to use it. Another thing is the matches always look laggy, which was also an issue I think in Halo 4. It didn't really seem to be an issue too much in Halo 3 from what I remember. But yeah, once again, I don't know how that's so bad. Like it's just awful. In terms of just like how it used to run, it doesn't make any sense. It used to run just fine. Like maybe I'm thinking maybe the whole replay system, or like the kill cam type deal that they were trying to do inside the beta that they got rid of, thankfully. Maybe that was something that caused an issue. I don't know, but like guns, I don't know. Sometimes like Well, sometimes you'll be reloading, or you'll go to reload, and it'll just like skip through the animation for some reason. You'll reload, it just won't play the animation on your screen, or it will play the animation, and somehow you reload like 12 shots or something. It doesn't make any sense. I don't really understand how 343 messed it up that badly. So maybe it'd be great if they just went ahead and copied it from Halo 3 and then like kind of added it onto that. Like, I'm not sure how theater mode got so messed up. But yeah, that's definitely something that they need to go ahead and fix. One other thing I think I forgot to mention is spectator mode is nice, to a degree anyway. That one probably also needs some work though. Just better improvements for like casting and things like that. Because during the tournaments, their spectator mode, I don't know, I think they have improved it. It looks pretty good during the tournaments for the most part. However, yeah, theater definitely needs some work. Thought I'd just go ahead and add that on. Because, yeah, it needs some work. Hopefully it won't be this bad in Halo Infinite. If it is, I kind of almost wish they would just not have it in the game. Because it's a nightmare to work with, unfortunately. Even sometimes if you're staying alive, it'll just switch to another character at random. I don't know. I don't know how it works. It doesn't make any sense. Another thing I want to talk about is the lighting on some of the maps. And I don't know if it's the lighting. Well, it has to be the lighting. It's a combination of the lighting and certain weapon scopes. I hate playing on Apex 7 now. I don't like Apex 7 anymore, and I didn't really care for Array, which is the Warzone Assault version of it that was there at launch. Didn't really care for that map at all. Yeah, the lighting on Apex 7 is god-awful. I don't know why it's so bad. Looking through a DMR scope on that map and certain other maps is just the worst thing. Like, you can barely see what you're trying to shoot at, and it's just awful. They need to fix that in Halo Infinite, and they should really fix it in Halo 5. In my opinion, it'd be really nice. Because, yeah, like I said, it's so bad, you can barely see anything. I don't know what it is, but, like, if you're on the beach, normally it's already too bright. Like, it just looks weird. It's just too bright. The lighting does not work well on that map. And then you go to zoom in, and somehow the whole game gets even brighter. And it makes no sense. It's so bad on that map and on some other maps. And man, it'd be nice if they could fix that. They haven't fixed it yet. I don't think they ever will. It's not like they're getting too much blowback about it nowadays. But yeah, it's awful for sure. It's terrible. It's not the sole reason that every time Apex shows up I just quit the game, but that's a big part of the reason I just quit the game. Whenever Apex 7 shows up as a map in Firefight, I'm just like, no, I don't want to play this map, and that's pretty sad. That's pretty sad that it's that bad, where I just want to quit and look for another match. I talked about it before, but some of the way that the weapons look, like I said, the BR, don't like the. I really don't like the claw scope. I don't know why we don't just go with the default scope. Same thing with the DMR. I don't like that scope. The way it looks is just weird. I don't know. It felt like it was built in isolation as some kind of prototype for something else, and then they were just like, well, crap, we just need to put it on here. It's weird. Like, I like the Sentinel scope, to where I'm pretty sure it's called Sentinel scope. The one with the dual zoom, that one's pretty cool. Even like if I'm pretty sure it's called the long shot scope. If you use that on Apex 7, and then you use the Sentinel, like you can't really see much of anything. It's that bad. In my opinion, it's really, really, really bad. Yeah, the long shot scope. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. Some of the way weapons look, just, yeah, I don't know. I like the Halo 4 shotgun at first. I wish they would just switch back to the old, like, Halo Reach model for it. I like that one a lot more, the Halo Reach Halo 1 anniversary. Or do a throwback to, like, the Halo 1 shotgun. Something like that would be nice. The way the beam rifle looks, awful, in my opinion. It just, I don't know what's up with 343. It seemed like they wasted their polygon budget on some things. Like, let's just, I don't know, it kind of seems like the beam rifle has like tumors or something on it. It looks weird. I don't like the way it looks. I was happy they added the H2 beam rifle back. I love that one. I like the way it looks. It's a Halo beam rifle. You know, you instantly know what it looks like. Same thing with the rocket launcher. I hope they get rid of the rocket launcher. Keep some of the way the variants work, like the Ad Victorium. That was cool. Shot out 3 shots. The one that shot out the Hydra missiles, that was cool. Like, keep those the way those fire, but just give us a spanker model back. Like, I don't understand why 343 decided to use like a generic rocket launcher when they have one of the most iconic rocket launchers in gaming already. Because if you actually if you play some other games, like, I'm gonna compare it to Doom again. You go play Doom. It's another generic looking rocket launcher. It's just like, yeah, that's a video game rocket launcher. That's what they look like. It's just like the same rocket launcher model in so many different games. I don't know why they decided to get rid of the iconic one. Hopefully they change. I don't know. It's weird. It's just like a lot of weapon changes and vehicle changes that they got right in Halo 4 that they successfully updated from Halo Reach or Halo 3 and Halo 4. Like the way the Ghost looks in Halo 4. Love the way it looks in Halo 4. Same thing with the Wraith, Scorpion Tank, Warthog. Looks great. Banshee. I don't know. Still like. I think I'm more of a fan of like the Halo 1 through like Halo 3 style Banshee as opposed to like post Halo Reach Banshee. Like Halo Reach and Onward, I kind of don't like it too much. Really don't like the way it looks in Halo 5. That's for sure. I don't really care for the way any of the Covenant vehicles look in Halo 5. They just, I don't know. You got, like I said, you got the iconic Covenant vehicles. The way that the Wraith look, you successfully updated in Halo 4. Same thing with the Ghost. Same thing with the Banshee to an extent. They look great. I like them a lot there. In Halo 5, I don't know why they changed it the way they did. It just doesn't look nice in my opinion. Same thing with the Scorpion Tank. They did an awesome job bringing it up to date in Halo 4. I really like the way it looks in Halo 4. And then the one, I don't really care for the way it looks in Halo 5 that much. It just doesn't really look too much like the Scorpion Tank. I don't know. I mean, it is, but it isn't at the same time. Also, I like the ability for people to just ride the Scorpion Tank again. Like, that was an awesome thing in Halo 1, that they were just like, we'll get rid of this until ODST came back around. I don't know. Things like that. Just some of the way some of the vehicles look, like the ones I mentioned, I don't like the way they look. Mongoose seems okay. I kind of wish that the Gun Goose had maybe like 2 variations, one with the machine guns like it was in H2A, and then one with the grenade launchers like in Halo 5. That'd be nice. I don't really understand the whole idea of giving them unlimited grenades for whoever's on the back seat. That's just weird. I don't know. That seemed like something they talked about in a cutting room floor or something like that, and then just forgot to get rid of when the game finally came out. But yeah, some like I said, some of the ways those things look, I don't like it. I do like the weapon skins. I touched on that before. I like the weapon skins a lot. It's cool having different kinds of weapon skins on like your DMR, your assault rifle, things like that. Just allow us to buy them, or allow us to earn them somehow. I think that's important. Whole random thing needs to go. One thing I haven't talked about yet is the armors. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. There's probably a max 10 armors that I actually like in Halo 5. Armors and helmets, anyway. That's not counting the variations. If it was variations, I guess you could like triple that, maybe. Not even for some. They're changing the armor system, thank goodness. It's going to go back to a more Halo Reach style system, thank goodness. I really feel like because of the rec system and they needed something that just pad those gold, silver, bronze, whatever rec packs, they were just like, there isn't a concept armor that won't make it into this game. I really feel like that, because some of these armors, like, there has to be some of these that literally no one's worn unless they're just trolling or something. I mean, we've all seen the memes of this one armor helmet that looks so stupid. It's just like, what on earth was 343 on when they were creating that? And it's like that for quite a few of these helmets, honestly. I don't know. You know, you just cut those back by like 75%, make some ones that people actually want to wear and actually want to go after, and I think we'll be in a much better place. Or yeah, I just hope the armor system will be okay in Halo Infinite, because good lord, in Halo 5 it wasn't that great. And the thing is, you can tell that a lot of people had to have said that, because they brought back so many like older armor variants from like the other games and kind of left them alone for like from like Halo Reach or Halo 3. Same thing with the weapons, and it's just like, so clearly they hear the feedback on that. I really hope they don't repeat the same mistake again, because man, there's just way too many armors in here that no one really gives a crap about, I don't think. Or at least I don't. I feel like they could just be better placed into like a more robust armor system with individual pieces and colors and things like that, which is what I hope we can see. It's kind of the same thing with the color for like the visors. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the different visor colors, but there's quite a few of them that kind of just look exactly the same. And I don't know. Like I said before, it just seems like it was there to pad out the rec system and make it take longer for you to get what you actually want out of those rec packs. Yeah, hopefully that'll be okay. I know they've talked about that for Halo Infinite. I hope that'll be okay, because that's those armor. A lot of the armors I'm not a fan of. One thing that I remembered from Halo Reach when I went back and played that. Go back and play that every once in a while, is I feel like they should get rid of the whole XP boost things. They should just bring back double XP weekends, and in terms of like if they were going to go with a credit system, they should bring back daily and weekly challenges, and then just be done with that. Like, just do that. Just bring back the daily and weekly challenges. They can even have like multiple weekly challenges for like, say, like different game modes. So like if you're someone who's like, I don't play arena, you could have a weekly challenge for Firefight to kill, I don't know, like 10,000 enemies in Firefight, or complete like 100 waves of Firefight or something like that in a given week. Things like that. They need to bring back the challenges, because like it's a much better way, in my opinion, to go rank up as opposed to praying. Once again, it just comes back to the random nature of the whole rec system, which I hate so much. It's better. I'd rather have the challenges and get XP and credits that way, as opposed to having this random rec pack system to where I don't even know when I'm going to get XP boost anymore. And it's just like, hopefully I'll get them out of a gold pack, but I don't know. And then even if I do, I don't know what the rarity will be, because they have like 4 different rarities, or more, 5 different rarities, 4. I think it's 4 for each one of those. So yeah, you don't even know which one you're going to get. It's so bad. Yeah, I much rather daily, weekly challenges. It'll get me back into playing campaign. I mean, maybe not, like, I mean, if it was like Halo, if it's Halo 5 quality, then maybe I'll just like mute the thing and just do it for the gameplay solely. But hopefully it won't be that bad again. Daily, weekly challenges, yeah, I would really love for them to come back. That'd be really nice. It's a much better way to rank up and engage with the game, in my opinion, as opposed to this daily login. Like, if you want to have like a daily login, no, actually, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, probably not even. I mean, I don't know. Find a way to keep the daily login thing, I guess, because that's some way that they use to keep people to come in every day. I'd rather just go back for daily and weekly challenges. Like, that was the thing, because I almost want to go get max rank in Halo Reach before I do it in Halo 5, if I even do it in Halo 5 at this point. Instead, because of the daily challenges and weekly challenges, that'll help me get there a lot faster, as opposed to just like praying for these random, like the rec point, the random XP boost. Yeah, daily, weekly challenges. I would love this to come back. One thing I want to talk about, it's just like outside the game, and this is something in general that 343 needs to work on. I like watching the tournaments. Love watching the tournaments. At this point, though, I don't know how it keeps happening, but it's like become like almost a meme. And that the intermissions, sometimes the intermissions in between matches or in between series, easily could be over half an hour long. Easily half an hour long. Like, it's very bad, and they need to fix that. Like, a lot of the times it's just like, oh man, we got an Xbox to where this person's not connecting to the lobby, or this person's mic is messed up, or this person's Xbox frozen and it needs to be restarted, or something like that. And I'm just like, I don't know how you guys, like, it's not all 343's fault, but some of it's the game, so it is their fault at that point. Like, it makes it so hard to continue watching those tournaments, because the, like, intermissions in between matches are, like, awfully long. Some of the in-between videos that they have are really awesome, though. I like that a lot. To where they'll just be doing, like, random games or asking the players questions or stuff like that. Like games of Would You Rather, or what would you do in this situation, or like just random off-the-wall questions. Those are like lengthy intermissions to where it's just like, hey, we'll be back in 5 minutes, and then like half an hour later, it's just like, yeah, we'll be back in 15 minutes, but nothing has changed. It's the same screen. They just restarted the timer like 7 times. That's something that they need to get a hold on. They need to do something about that, because it's just not professionally run for tournaments, which isn't good. They need to have some kinds of standards there. I guess that brings me on to the last thing, and yeah, this is the one thing I guess I've been avoiding, because this just makes me so sad, and it's Halo 5's campaign. The marketing up for Halo 5's campaign, I promise you there was marketing people who were just like, yeah, so our Osiris team is going to find out why Chief went AWOL, and yeah, and that's like all the marketing team got, and it's just like, go make an awesome marketing campaign around that, which they did. They definitely did. They made an amazing marketing campaign for Halo 5. Hunt the Truth, love listening to that. I think it was like every week. That was awesome. The trailers, you know, seeing the Spartans do crazy stuff, that was awesome. And it's just like, oh yeah, Master Chief versus Locke, and Locke versus Master Chief. One's on the ground, one's not on the ground, depending on the video that you watched. It's really awesome. Love seeing that. So, oh man, stuff's gonna get real. Locke seemed like a pretty cool character, at least at first, anyway. And then the game came out, and yeah, obviously, like I said, obviously the marketing team got something different from 343, and it seemed like they weren't allowed to talk about, like 343 could not tell the marketing people what this campaign was about outside of some high-level stuff. Let's talk about, I'm going to talk about the positives first. Gameplay-wise, campaign was actually pretty good. Like, I love the locations that you went to. It was cool going to St. Helios, the Elite Home World, the Battle of Zion in the city. That was cool. Awesome location. It's cool seeing like what a Covenant city might look like, even though we did see High Charity, but still. The Elite Home World. I love that. That was cool. The missions around that, I like pretty much every single one of those, I think. The Kraken was interesting. I prefer to just verse Scarabs, honestly. Like, we know what Scarab, I mean, we've seen Scarabs before, but they're always fun to fight anyway. And it's just like, oh yeah, it's a Scarab. Let's go fight this thing. It's cool. We know how to take them down, but, I mean, they're fun to fight. I would have rather seen that. But, yeah, that whole, I guess, desert rocky area, when we were on the Elite Home World, that was cool. I like that. It was just fun going through those missions. They were pretty well designed. There was some vehicle combat. You know, get to get us fly the Phaeton, stuff like that. It was fun. Even when we were on, good lord, I can't remember the name of that planet. Hold on, give me a second. Meridian Station. Well, that's not the. It's not the planet. Anyway, Meridian Station. Going there was cool. Like seeing like a outer world kind of I don't know, settlement in a sense. That was cool. I like that a lot. Granted, we didn't have Marines. We just had the little station people, which they hated us. Which, you know, I guess the players also probably didn't really care for Osiris team, so we're probably all on the same page at that point. But that was cool. I like that a lot. Cool location. It's a little too like wave defensy, but that was fun. I like that. Going to Genesis, I really wish that was more exciting. Here's the thing, and I hated this in Halo 4. Well, I hated it a lot more in Halo 4. You know, the game's called Halo. Why don't we go to some Halo installations? I mean, it was named. I mean, they talked about it in Halo 4 to where Infinity was like tasked with like finding the remaining installations and like setting up outposts and things like that on it. Like, but in Halo 4 they missed a huge opportunity. You get to see the Halo ring and they're like, cool, now don't go to that Halo rings. It's like the game's called Halo. Why don't we go to Halo rings anymore? It's annoying. Genesis, I didn't really care for. Maybe it's because I'm just tired of fighting the Prometheans. But I did like Exuberant Witness a lot. She was, it was awesome to have another monitor friend floating around. That was fun. I liked that a lot. So gameplay was like on a certain locations fighting, it was cool. Especially like the first time you verse the hunters and you kill one and it has like the whole rage kind of mode. Stuff like that's cool. And it's nice that, you know, it was like new gameplay stuff. Anyway, it's just nice to have. That was nice to have, see in the campaign. I guess that's pretty much it. Yeah. Some of the collectibles were cool. Finding the Blaze of Glory, like the Answer, some of the ultimate ultra weapons, their ultra vehicles for the Covenant. That was nice. You know, rewarded you for looking around. The grunt dialogue, always fun, always funny. Grunts over there being all smarter than everyone around them for the most part. So that was cool. Things like that, awesome in the campaign. I guess the things that I didn't like about the campaigns, anything that I didn't mention, I pretty much didn't like. Story, didn't really care for. Yeah, it didn't match up with the marketing. We played as Osiris team most of the time, which, you know, wouldn't have been the worst thing had they I don't really consider them like Spartans, but that's not like a dig against them. It's kind of almost all Spartan force. It's just like you just kind of wear the armor. But it's like they were hammering it home so hard, and the dialogue, it just didn't match up. Like, I don't get why, in some circumstances, like, they just be, like, for Osiris team, they'd just be calling each other Spartans the whole time. It's just like, come on, Spartans. It's like, we have to go over there. It's just like, really hammering it that they're also Spartans. It's just like, why don't you just call each other by each other's name? It's just like, why doesn't Buck just call Locke? And it's just like, come on, Locke, we gotta go. It's just like, move it, and it's just like, or things like that. But no, it's just like, come on, Spartan, get up, we gotta go over here. And it's just like, what? And it's just like, we got a Spartan down over here. It's just like, you guys aren't really like the Spartans in my opinion. It's just like regular old people. Spartans are different. I mean, granted, they go through like some new wave of training. I mean, I understand that, but it was just annoying. The dialogue for them, banter-wise, wasn't the greatest. It was kind of annoying. There's also some plot holes in the game that may have been explained outside the game, but I'm really tired of games like saying, oh, why don't you go look at our extended lore outside the game for major plot points that are inside the game. Like, Final Fantasy 15 did that. Didn't like it. It's just like, who are you people? It seems like you all know each other so well. It's like, oh yeah, you just gotta go watch the Kingsglaive thing. It's just like, I think it was free, but I'm just like, why wouldn't you just put it in the game? And it's like the same thing in Halo 5. Like, Locke tells Buck, and it's just like, you're not the only one here because of him. And I watched, like, Nightfall. Maybe I missed something. There's a good chance I could have missed something. But I'm just like, what do you mean you're not the only one because of him? It's just like, what makes Master Chief, like, is it because you're supposed to be tracking him down because he went AWOL? Is that why he's not the only one? Why is, like, what made, like, Buck there because of Chief? I don't know. And it's just like a missed opportunity also. It's just like, yeah, you know, when everyone figures out that we're, like, trying to go hunt down and kill Chief, they're gonna hate us for it. And it's just like, yeah, let's explore that. And it's just like, no, that's okay. It's, I don't know. And then it's like in a Halo 2 anniversary type deal with the cutscene with the Arbiter and Locke and Fireteam Osiris. And it's just like the Arbiter's not too happy that you're gonna go hunt down Chief in that video anyway. But I mean, in the campaign, it's just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go find Chief. Something's up, and it's just like, oh okay. Like, and then with Cortana being a bad guy, it's just like, why couldn't she just be a good guy? Or like, and it's like, well, we need conflict. It's like, we've got the Warden. It's just like, do something interesting with the Warden Eternal. I mean, I love every time the Warden was talking, I loved it. I guess that's one thing I missed. I love the Warden Eternal when he's in the cutscene. Pre-patch, before they made it to where you didn't have to verse him like 27 times throughout the campaign, and he was like a real pain on Legendary. Like, before that, that was annoying because me and my brother, we went through it on Legendary release day, and good lord, that was bad. And then like a couple of weeks later, they patched it to where it's a lot easier. Anyway, yeah, you don't get to play as blue team that often, and that's a issue in my opinion. Because I love playing as blue team. Like the first mission, blue team, that you get to play as them. I love that a lot. It's like it felt like a really classic like Halo mission. You know, it's nice and lengthy. Walking around with your friends, banter and stuff like that. I like that a lot. I wish we could have played as blue team throughout the entire campaign, honestly. I think it would have been a lot. It would have been a lot more fun. Because like, I understand. I guess there was like zero conflict for when they arrived at Meridian Station, but maybe there was. We're going to find the Guardian. We're trying to figure out what's going on. Cortana signal send us here. The Warden doesn't want you to get the Genesis, maybe, or get the Cortana. I mean, clearly he doesn't anyway. So you know there could be some conflict going on there or something like that. But yeah, we should have just played as blue team pretty much the entire time, in my opinion. It would have been nice if the Arbiter was, you know, there. I mean, like, how cool would that have been to where it was blue team and like the Arbiter and the Chief were back together again on Xenion, fighting back the Covenant. Like, that would have been great. But no, we're Osiris team, and yeah, I would have just rather have been blue team throughout pretty much the entire campaign. And it sucks because I mean, like I said, Locke. Before the game came out, I was just like, man, I can't wait to play as him. Seems like it's going to be cool. And then, you know, you play the campaign and you don't really care for him that much. I know a lot of people just like outright hate him. I don't hate him. I'm just like, I'd rather just be playing as Chief most of the time. That was pretty much my whole feel of it. It's just like, I'd rather just be playing as Chief and blue team throughout the campaign. So, but I'm pretty sure that's it. All that I want to talk about. I kind of doubt too many. I doubt this will reach like 3 years. They got like another year. So if maybe on the off chance someone there hears this and they're just like, all right, yeah, you know, maybe you're right, or they take some of this stuff as feedback and implement it inside of Halo Infinite, I don't think it should be too late. Like I said, you got like another year. It's just like my whole feedback on Halo 5. I guess at this point, there's some things I like, but good lord, there's a lot of things I don't like, and I hope don't show back up in the next Halo game. I guess once again, probably should have reiterated this multiple times throughout the video. It's worth mentioning once again, I don't hate Halo 5. It's a good game, not really a great Halo game whatsoever. It was kind of the same deal with Halo 4, except I like the campaign a heck of a lot more than Halo 5. Halo 4's campaign was pretty good for the most part. Multiplayers were a little shaky for a lot of people, but yeah, hopefully they take this feedback and I don't know, it's just something I want to be talking about for a long time. I don't think they'll, like I said, I don't think it'll reach the years that it would need to for some of this to be implemented, but yeah, that's just my take on Halo 5, I guess, at this point. It's a lengthy rant. It's over an hour, so if you stuck with it this long, thanks. Hopefully you got something out of it. If I imagine there'll be some comments to this. I'd like to hear what you guys think about Halo 5 at this point. I don't know how many of you guys are actually still playing it. I have a couple of you on my friends list, but most of the time you seem to be on the Master Chief Collection, which I completely understand. Because at this point it's a better game. Because it works. But yeah, so hopefully, like I said, you stuck with it this long. Hopefully you enjoyed the video and it wasn't too rambly. But yeah, I'll see you guys later.